Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to sift through insights and bring you the key knowledge really tailored for your curiosity. Today, we're looking into something I think many of us have felt, that kind of puzzling feeling that nothing really feels fun anymore, even though we have way more options than ever before, right at our fingertips. Just think back to when you were a kid. Do you remember when maybe one piece of candy, just one, could make your whole day? Or seeing your name on a birthday balloon. You felt like a total superstar. For me, I remember getting that little paper plate, a few wafers, a slice of cake, maybe some chocolates. It felt like the biggest event of the year. But now, well, we can order almost anything instantly. We scroll through endless feeds, binge watch whatever show we want. And yet, there's often this kind of emptiness, Like nothing quite lands. It's a really strange shift, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And that feeling, it's not just a coincidence or simply growing up. Our mission here in this deep dive is really to understand the profound psychological reasons behind it. Why those small things maybe don't spark the same simple happiness anymore. Why we often feel less, even when objectively we have so much more. And maybe most importantly, how you can genuinely invite some of that lost joy back into your life.
Right, because it's so easy to just brush it off, isn't it? Call it adulting or, nostalgia. But what's really fascinating and what we want to dig into is that it's not just about missing the past. There seems to be a very real, almost scientific reason why our excitement levels feel, well, flatter. Let's unpack that a bit. Think about those childhood moments again. What made them feel so magical?
Wow.
Maybe getting a brand new pencil box for school or just hearing that final bell ring at the end of the day. Freedom.
Yeah, or simple things. Playing with a spinning top, maybe. Or that thrill of getting to sit in the front seat of the car for once.
Oh, definitely. Or finding like $10 you forgot about in an old coat pocket. Pure treasure, right?
Exactly.
And remember how we watch shows? You waited a whole week, sometimes longer, for just one episode of your favorite cartoon. There were no spoilers, no skipping ahead. That moment, sitting there, glued to the TV, it felt almost sacred.
And that waiting, that deep sense of anticipation, that bubbling excitement you feel when you're really looking forward to something, that wait actually amplified the joy. It made it bigger. We valued things partly because they weren't always there, instantly available. That scarcity, it gave them magic. What's really striking now is, we've upgraded almost everything. We've downgraded our capacity to feel things deeply. We're always searching for the next hit, swiping for the next distraction. Instead of maybe just sitting with the thing we already have, it really makes you wonder, maybe we didn't lose happiness itself. Maybe we just, outgrew the simplicity that allowed it to flourish, or forgot it.
And in chasing all those upgrades, we've sort of stumbled right into this huge issue. Overstimulation, that's the term, right? When your senses are just bombarded. Too much noise, too many lights, notifications pinging constantly, endless choices. All day, every day. It's just a constant barrage.
Yeah.
Sensory overload.
Exactly. Our brains, they evolved for smaller, intermittent doses of excitement, like finding food or escaping danger, little bursts. But now, it's like we're trying to drink from a fire hose of constant pleasure and distraction.
A fire hose.
Yeah, that feels right.
And the inevitable result, we get emotionally exhausted. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself scrolling through, say, 100 funny videos, and you realize you haven't actually laughed at a single one?
Oh, absolutely. All the time.
It's not necessarily that the videos aren't funny. It's that your brain just can't process that much input that fast. It hits a limit. This leads to something we could call emotional inflation.
Emotional inflation.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's like economic inflation, but for feelings. The more you experience something, especially all at once and frequently, the less value each individual instance holds. The novelty just wears off incredibly quickly.
Wow. So we've basically cranked the volume of life way up, but in all that noise, that static, our ability to feel genuine joy or anything really gets muffled. We become kind of numb.
Exactly. Numb. Even joy can feel like static. And it's crucial to understand that numbness. It isn't a personal failing. It's not laziness. It's actually your brain's sophisticated defense mechanism kicking in.
A defense mechanism? How so?
Well, when it's faced with this relentless flood of input, when everything is constantly dialed up to more, your brain intelligently starts to feel less. It does this just to protect itself from being completely overloaded. It's a survival response, really, in this crazy overstimulated world we've built. And this brings us to a really key concept. There's a scientific term for this emotional dullness, this feeling less despite having more. It's called hedonic adaptation.
Hedonic adaptation.
Okay. And the surprising thing isn't just that our brains adapt. We know they do. It's that this adaptation, which likely evolved to help us handle changing circumstances, now often works against our well-being in a world full of constant novelty and abundance.
Right.
It's the reason why, your first paycheck felt absolutely incredible. But now, even if you earn significantly more, that initial thrill fades pretty fast.
Yeah.
It just becomes normal.
A new baseline.
Precisely. Your brain quickly recalibrates its baseline for what feels good. It's always pushing you, subtly, to seek out the next new stimulus. Think about your favorite food, that first bite. Heaven, right? A burst of pure pleasure. But by the 10th bite, it's just food. It's fine, but the magic's gone.
Yeah.
The food didn't change. Your brain's internal happy meter just reset itself. And we're rarely taught this, are we? Nobody really explains that our brain actively works to normalize new pleasures.
No, not at all.
So naturally, we often end up thinking we're doing something wrong. Why don't I feel happier? When actually, we're just experiencing a fundamental human neurological process.
Yeah.
It's just how we're wired.
And that's the trap, isn't it? When that initial high fades, we automatically think, okay, I need more intensity, more stuff, more experiences to feel that same level of excitement again.
Exactly.
And that leads straight into this relentless cycle of overconsumption, which, as you said, is taking in too much of anything: content, food, shopping, noise, just constant input. This chase, this never-ending need for more, it often results in this deep inner fatigue, a complete burnout, and maybe even feeling really lonely, ironically, because we're always searching but never quite satisfied.
But here's the empowering part. Once you really grasp this process, hedonic adaptation,
Yeah.
you instantly get back a significant amount of control. Well, you can start blaming yourself for feeling depleted or numb. And you can start intentionally structuring your life around awareness, around conscious choices, not just impulsive reactions driven by that need for the next hit. So if you've been feeling like nothing really moves me anymore, it's likely not because life itself has become inherently boring. It's probably because your brain desperately needs some space to reset, to recalibrate, start feeling things again, maybe more subtly.
And the huge irony there is that the very space our brain needs, we tend to fill it with absolutely everything except quiet or stillness.
Right.
We fill it with noise, endless scrolling late at night, binge watching one more episode when we should be sleeping, even replying to emails or messages we don't really care about, just to avoid, a moment of actual quiet.
And slowly, maybe without even noticing it's happening, we drift into becoming emotionally flat. It's not necessarily sadness, not really anger,
Yeah.
just blank.
Blank.
You might go through the motions, you smile at jokes, you say, I'm fine when someone asks. But deep down, you realize you haven't truly felt anything deeply, maybe in days.
Wow.
Connecting this all together, it becomes clearer. We're not fundamentally broken. We're just often incredibly overstimulated
Yeah.
and profoundly underconnected. Underconnected to ourselves, to the present moment. We've kind of replaced authentic, present experiences with simulated ones, with constant distractions. And while our conscious mind might be kept busy, our deeper system, our body, knows the difference. It's a bit like eating artificial sweetener.
Okay.
Your taste buds might be fooled for a second, right? But your body,
Yeah.
it still knows it didn't get the real nourishing energy it was actually craving. It still feels unsatisfied.
That's a powerful analogy. So if you're listening and you felt that strange mix feeling everything and nothing all at once, you're really, really not alone in this. That numbness we talked about. Maybe see it as a sign, a signal from your inner self, a sign that you need to actively, consciously come back to yourself, to re-engage with your own inner world.
Exactly. And it sounds almost counterintuitive, doesn't it? Because we're constantly told to chase happiness.
Yeah, hustle for it, earn it.
Right. Go get it.
Yeah.
But what if the real answer isn't out there? What if it's much simpler, much closer? What if the most powerful thing you can do is simply pause?
Pause.
Just pause. Like truly sit with your morning coffee for 5 minutes without instinctively grabbing your phone. Or maybe go for a walk outside without headphones blasting. Just listen to the world. Or dedicate yourself just for a short time to doing one single thing and only that one thing without trying to multitask. These aren't huge life-altering actions. They're small, intentional acts of reclaiming your focus, your attention.
Because the thinking goes, when you do intentionally slow down, when you practice what some call monotasking, just focusing on one thing, suddenly you start to notice things again, really notice them. You notice the warmth of the sun, maybe, or the actual sound of someone laughing nearby, or even just the simple rhythm of your own breathing, which is always there.
Effortlessly.
And in that noticing, that conscious engagement with the now, that's where the everyday magic can start to creep back in. It's not that life suddenly got more magical. It's that you finally showed up, fully present to witness it.
And you absolutely don't need to, escape to a monastery or quit your job to find it.
Yeah, it's not about drastic escape.
No. You just need to make a conscious choice, maybe starting today, to reclaim, to actively take back small, simple moments. And this is key, to allow those moments to be enough, just as they are. This practice, this savoring of the ordinary, it actively pushes back against that hedonic adaptation we talked about. It trains your brain to find novelty and pleasure in subtle variations, in the quiet stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of constantly needing bigger, louder, newer stimuli to feel anything.
So what this really boils down to, for you listening right now, it seems to be that when you stop frantically trying to feel everything all the time, you paradoxically create the inner space needed to actually genuinely feel anything at all. Okay, everyone, maybe take a deep, grounding breath with us right here. This has been a really insightful, maybe even challenging deep dive into our relationship with joy, distraction, and this modern feeling of numbness. If any of this resonated, if it made you pause and reflect on your own experience, please know you're definitely not alone. We're right here with you figuring this stuff out too. And now, just to make sure these powerful ideas really settle in, Sophia is here. She's going to quickly walk us back through some of the key vocabulary we used today, helping these concepts stick.
Absolutely. Let's just quickly revisit some of those core terms to help solidify them in your mind. First up, that powerful pull towards the past. Nostalgia. Remember, that's the soft, maybe slightly sweet emotional feeling when you remember something from bygone days. Often simple things like hearing that old song filled me with nostalgia from my school days. Makes sense.
Definitely.
Okay, next. Anticipation. That's that bubbling, exciting feeling you get while you're waiting for something you really care about. For instance, there was so much anticipation before the school picnic. You could almost taste the excitement.
Yeah, the build-up.
Exactly. Then, the modern challenge, overstimulation. This is when your senses get overwhelmed by just too much input, too much noise, light, information, even too much emotion hitting you at once. It leads to feeling drained. An example, the constant screen time overstimulated her brain.
Right, that fire hose effect.
Precisely. And related to that, emotional inflation. This happens when something loses its impact or value because you've had way too much of it, too often. Your response gets dulled. Like the constant stream of new gadgets didn't feel special anymore. It was emotional inflation.
The novelty wears off fast.
Very fast. Then, your brain's protective shield. Defense mechanism. This is your brain's automatic way of trying to keep you safe, psychologically. Sometimes that means shutting down or numbing feelings or input that feels overwhelming. For example, avoiding intense emotions became his brain's defense mechanism.
Okay, got it.
And the behavior it can lead to. Overconsumption. This is simply taking in too much of anything. Content, food, shopping, noise, often way more than it's actually healthy or needed. Like, she realized she was over-consuming entertainment just to avoid being alone with her thoughts.
That constant filling of space.
Yeah. And the result of pushing too hard for too long, burnout. This isn't just being tired. It's that deep pervasive fatigue where your body, mind, and spirit will just say, I can't anymore. For instance, after months of pushing herself relentlessly, she felt complete burnout.
A really profound exhaustion.
Yes. Then, the state we discussed quite a bit, numb. This means feeling. Well, no, nothing much at all. No strong happiness, no deep sadness, just a kind of blankness or absence of feeling. Like, after the initial shock wore off, he didn't feel excited or sad. He just felt numb.
That middle ground of nothingness.
Exactly.
Well,
And finally, the action we can take. Reclaim. This means actively taking back something that truly belonged to you, something you've lost touch with, like your peace, your attention, your time. For example, she took a few minutes each evening just to sit quietly and reclaim her sense of calm.
taking it back. I like that.
It's empowering. So here's a final thought to leave you with. As you step back into the flow of your day, what single small moment, maybe something really ordinary, will you choose to fully show up for? Just one moment. Letting it be truly enough, just as it is.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into rediscovering joy in a noisy world. May your heart stay open, your attention find focus, and may your moments, big and small, be deeply felt. Until next time, take good care.